Hey guys, Spider here, and this is our compilation, our Easter egg guide for the Revelations main Easter egg, and serves as trophy guides not only for the good of all, but also a better tomorrow. For the good of all, in Revelations, a key must be opened. A better tomorrow in Revelations, complete the cycle. Everything's time indexed. There are annotations to help you skip steps, and I'll put the links to each step with time indexes in the description. All right, so here we go, guys. Step 1, shooting the gravestones at spawn. I mean, you can do this right away, and we're going to shoot the gravestones in order of the character deaths as they died on the maps as they were released in Black Ops 3. So on the giant Richtofen died, we're going to shoot his gravestone first, and then Dempsey on Derisendrach. Third is Takio on Zetsubo Noshima, and finally, we have Nikolai on Gorod Krovi. So we're going to shoot the last gravestone, and right there you see the red wisps of light coming out of the gravestones, and we're on to step number 2. Step 2, collecting the first audio reel. We're going to need the keeper for this, so you have to have constructed the summoning altar and have 5,000 points amongst your players, and then we're going to summon the keeper. So we're going to bring him to a jump pad, but it's not any jump pad, it's a very specific jump pad. In this case, the one at Shangri-La, because once we shoot the gravestones, an oddly shaped rock will appear at one of the jump pad sites, and we're going to get a better look at it here. We're going to go and jump to spawn and then jump back to Shangri-La because it's much easier to see it when the jump pad is on cooldown. So here we are coming back to Shangri-La. We'll get a much better look at it. It actually looks like the other rocks that are there. There it is right there. And we're going to hit square on it with the keeper very, very close, and he starts to perform a ritual. This does take some time, so ideally, unless you're solo, have another player running the zombie and Noctur Untoten. That's the safest place. The zombie will freak out a little bit because he wants to go after the keeper. If he's not Noctur Untoten, he'll make it to the keeper, and you're gonna have to kill him because he'll kill the keeper, and you'll have to resummon him again with 5,000 more points. So we're at the tail end of the ritual. The other jump pad locations that we know about where this rock can spawn, other than the Shangri-La jump pad, is Varuk on the bottom level and the jump pad at Mob of the Dead. Those are the only 3 locations we've ever seen. And you can see once he finishes that ritual, the rock disappears in a puff of smoke and this tape reel appears. It's an audio tape reel. So we pick it up, hitting square, and it goes on a specific player in Noctur Untoten. Here's the player, walk up, hit square, and here is the audio.
After many weeks of failure and frustration, Dr. Maxis finally achieves the breakthrough he had been searching for. The results were immediate and startling. In the case of Subject 2-6, his instances of violent outburst were non-existent. His docility appeared permanent. Unfortunately, while we prepared to implement the treatment on the other subjects, there was an incident. During his field test this morning, Subject 2-6 attacked a handler. 2-6 and the handler were both destroyed. Maxis believes Subject 2-6 only attacked the handler. He does not know I was attacked as well. I have observed a developing pattern of high fevers and cold sweats. My thoughts are erratic. My relationship with Ludwig is complicated. I fear I cannot keep this secret from him for long.
Step 3, the second audio reel. We gotta go into the Apothecon for this, and you know those vents where the zombie spawn out of it? Look at that. Just happen to have a zombie spawn out of them. You gotta throw little Arnies into those. There are a total of 9. I'm gonna go around inside the Apothecon, showing you the location of each one of these. So whether you have one player and get max ammos afterwards to get enough Arnies to throw in here, you need a total of 9, or you have multiple players with little Arnies. Note that, though, every 3 that you throw in there, the third one will spawn in 3 Margwas. At first, there'll be regular Margwas, and then the Magma or Fire Margwas, and then the Void Margwas, okay, for the last 3. You have to kill the Margwas, you know, throw in your next 3. You definitely don't want to just have 9 Margwas running around. Just continuing throwing the little Arnies in there. They will disappear. They will disappear. Obviously, they don't you know, just pop out and start killing stuff. They will disappear into those vents. So yeah, there were 7 around the outside, and then there were 2 on the inside that we just showed. That second one being near the Pack-a-Punch. So we're just going to show you the final one. This is the last one that we did on our run. So Lil Arnie is in there, and you're going to see these, yes, the Margwas are going to spawn in, the Void guys, the most dangerous ones. So take them out, and we're going to find the second audio reel. So here it is. It's essentially on that sort of that first bridge. I think it's in front of Pack-a-Punch, and it's just sitting there. Apparently, you know, the third Margwa that you kill, the Void Margwa, just has it in his possession. This audio reel is going to go on to the player in Kino. The player is on the stage just in front of that box location, and let's turn the audio up for you guys.
The break in programming coincided with the flashing lights and loud noises of the fire alarm in the test facility. One moment. What is it?
You wanted to see me, Ludwig?
Sophia, yes. Do come in. Sit down, my dear. Have some tea.
Is everything all right?
No. Everything's fine. Drink your tea. I heard a nefarious rumor earlier regarding the field test with Subject 26. Are you feeling all right?
Of course.
Just strange, this rumor. May I see your arm?
What? No. Why do you need to see my arm?
Relax, Sophia. I would never hurt you. You know that, right?
Of course, but...
And you know I care deeply for you.
Yes, but...
Yes. Then you know everything I'm about to do is for your own good.
Step 4, the third audio reel, a little bit more complicated than the other ones. We got to find 6 rocks that we're going to shoot. It has to be an upgraded gun, not the Thunder Gun, not the Apothicon Servant upgraded, but just a regular upgraded gun. And you're going to shoot the rock. This one on Origins, it's in the trench across from Generator 3 on the far side, outside the map. So an upgraded gun to shoot the rock, it'll pop the bone up, and then you need the upgraded Apothicon Servant. I know it has a different name, but essentially it's the upgraded Apothicon Servant from Shadows of Evil to shoot near the bone, and it'll suck the bone into the black hole. So you got to be fairly precise, because sometimes it doesn't work, and hopefully the keeper doesn't get in the way. But if you get the shot in close enough to the bone, it will definitely suck the bone into the black hole. The second rock/bone location is at spawn in the church, and if you sit on the right side of the pillar, I guess that's a pillar for the corruption engine, the rock is like on the back side of the church wall above the candles. You can see it's kind of got the light reflecting off of it right there. So again, shoot it with an upgraded gun. It releases the bone. I mean, we could get into semantics and start calling it the thigh bone. I don't know if this one is the thigh bone. It's a bone, and we're essentially collecting parts for a skeleton. These are Sophia's skeletal remains, essentially. Third location is over in Shangri-La, above the stamina perk machine. There's the rock right there. And this time it's a skull, so it's, you know, it's not a bone, it's a skull. The skull's going to rotate around, and there's the upgraded Apothicon Servant, and the skull has now been collected. We're halfway there, guys. Fourth location is over at Nocturne. It's the flat rock just to the left of where I'm aiming. And this one is pretty hard to see. I take a shot there. It's right above there, right on my reticle. There it is. So there is the bone in Nocturne. And that one, like I said, very difficult to see, but not as difficult as number 6, trust me. So we're going to get, I think that's Hyper shooting the Apothicon Servant, and number 4 has now been collected. Bone number 5 is just outside the Verrucht portal on the left-hand side. On the left-hand side of this little creek or river, there's a rock that looks kind of out of place on that larger rock. All right, so we're going to shoot that one, and Hyper misses a couple times. It's actually easier to go up the stairs towards power and get a shot when you're sort of angled down to hit closer to the bone to pick this one up. At least that's what we found. Missed a few times trying to shoot straight on. But that is bow number 5, and now on to the most difficult one. Now, when I say difficult, this was the last one that the internet found, that Easter egg hunters found. It's pretty crazy. So I got a sniper, and it's on the left of that rounded wall run wall here. As soon as you come out of the portal, left hand, you just turn left. I mean, if you're facing the portal, it's on the right. And so I sniped it. Now, if you shoot to the left wall, the Apothicon Servant shot is too far away. You got to hit it just to the right. Hit it on that wall on the right-hand side, and you'll hit it and collect that bone. Essentially, that's a bone. I think that's the spine and the rib cage. All right, so where'd all the bones go? Well, the bones go up atop Noctur Untoten, and I don't think they appear until you have collected all of them. So there are the remains of Sophia, the skeletal remains that Max is strewn about on the maps. So what we're going to do is shoot the Apothicon Servant at her remains, and they'll be collected into the blackness. And then what you'll see right away, or after a few seconds, you'll see a body appear. It's the body of Sophia. It's the zombified body of Sophia, actually. So let's take a little closer look at Sophia. She's looking pretty nasty. Yes. Maxis is very sorry for what he did to you, Sophia. And now what we're going to do once again is shoot the upgraded Apothicon Servant and suck the zombified remains of Sophia into the blackness. And what you'll find in its place is our third audio reel. So like I said, they sort of got a little bit more complicated as we went along here. And there is one more player up atop the Origins dig site, and we're going to play the reel for you and let you listen.
This is Dr. Ludwig Maxis, beginning preliminary trials for the Strategic Operations Planning Heuristic Intelligence Analyzer.
Mein Gott, what's happening? Ludwig? Dr. Maxis?
Hello, Sophia.
Where am I? It's so dark here. I can't see anything.
That's all perfectly normal. How are you feeling?
I feel nothing. What have you done to me?
I saved you, Sophia. I saved you the only way I knew how.
Oh, Maxis. What have you done?
Attempting interdimensional transfusion. Failure. Failure. Assistance required. Maxis!
Oh no, not this broad again.
Okay, on to step number 5. We got to phase Sophia in, and I'll kind of explain what I mean here. So there's Sophia, but she looks like she's out of phase, you know, to coin a Star Trek term. She's glowing blue, but she's not all there. We got to power her up. We got to provide power so that we can phase her back into our dimension. Does that make sense? Well, the way you do this is by firing the laser turrets at those blue rocks that are sort of moving about in the sky. Now, I'm at spawn. I'm shooting the one on the right. If you're facing the portal, I'm shooting the one on the right. That's not the right one. Shoot the one on the left, and just keep shooting it and try and get it to that angle so that it goes towards Noctur Untoten, and it'll immediately lock into place when you hit the right spot, and it'll pop you off the laser. So you gotta do that with all 4 of them. If you're a single player game, do it one at a time. 4 players, do it all at the same time. It doesn't matter. I don't think they have to all be done at the exact same time, dependent on how many players are in your game. So here we are going up to Der Eisendrock, and the laser, it seems to be that all the lasers are pointed to the rocks on the left. I mean, some of the locations only have 1 rock, but like you saw with Spawn, there are 2 possible rocks that you can shoot. Over here at Verrucht, again, up to the left, all the lasers locked in, pointing back towards Sophia at Noctur Untoten. And the final one here at Mob of the Dead. Okay, so you got all 4 lasers locked onto her. Now what? Let's go check her out and see what's going on with Sophia at Noctur Untoten. All right, there she is. Just go up to her and hit square.
Attempting to locate Maxis. Signal identified. I must go to him. I require your assistance.
Shadowman,
woman machine is very selfish. Does she not see how universe is collapsing?
So we're basically just going to follow her to Kino der Toten, where she ends up powering up the teleporter on top of the stage.
Look, I know everything's gone to hell in a handbasket, but I'm really glad to see Maxis has got himself a bird now. I know she's a little bit drony, but I can fix her. I can fix everything. It'll be fine. Sophia and Maxis are really smart. They can be a good influence on the kids.
You must enter the teleporter to save Maxis.
Step 6, guys, activating the Kronorium. Okay, so the teleporter's powered up. We're gonna all get in the teleporter, every player that's in the game, and it automatically activates. We're gonna teleport into Samantha's room, of course, the same room that we've seen from Kino der Toten. Now, what you want to do is look on the bed. There's a book, and I believe that's the Kronorium. So we're gonna pick up the book, and that's essentially what we need. There are a couple other things that you may have seen from the videos. There is a way to get Takio's katana out of this room with the wisp from Spawn, if you want to check out our video for that. And you can also activate, oh no, not an M1927 Wallbot. You can activate the gramophone, and I'm not actually sure if that's what transported us back or it was time-based. But anyways, we do get some audio.
This is a strange book. I cannot say why, but I feel it should not be in our possession.
Oh, the stories I could tell you about this book. The lengths I went to obtain it. Kronorium is probably the best book I've ever read. Honestly, I couldn't put it down.
So once you have the book, you go up to the lectern on the stage and you hit square. It places the book on the lectern, and you have those 4 lights that go up into the projector room of Kino. So we're gonna go up there and check it out, because it does spawn a set of symbols on the floor. So you got these symbols, and these are rune symbols. So we need runes now. Not ruins, runes. 4 gateworm eggs have spawned on the map now here for step 7, collecting and incubating gateworms. So I'm gonna show you the 4 locations where they were in our game. This is just down from the top of this sort of dig site area in Origins for the first egg. Our second egg location was just off the top jump pad here in Verrückt. Third location was in this little passageway going from Kino to Der Eisendrache on the bottom level, and it's just sitting in a bucket where there is a cipher. There's a cipher in the back of this bucket. So there is egg number 3 on our game. Egg number 4 location just off of spawn towards the jump pad to Origins, and it's sitting on top of a barrel. Just want to show you some of the other possible spawn locations for the eggs. This list has been compiled on Reddit. Link is in the description. The first one being next to Quick Revive. The second one at spawn is over towards the jump pad to Shangri-La. You're going to take a right and right near this garbage can. Next up, described as on one of the fallen cabinets in Nacht der Untoten. And that cabinet is the only one, or shelf, is the only one that's knocked right over. So we're assuming it's there, but if not, again, the description is on one of the fallen cabinets. A couple of locations described in Shangri-La. The first in the fire near the steps and the dragon. The second is described as near a broken pillar near the jump pad to spawn. In brackets, to the right of where the spikes would be on Shangri-La from Black Ops 1. Next up is in the Primus statue room between Shangri-La and Der Eisendrache. It's near the statues. In Kino der Toten, a possible egg location is near the Bowie knife. And also in Kino, when entering Kino from Der Eisendrache, take a right down to Kino where you will see the egg sitting on the right balcony. Probably right there, I think. On to Verrückt. The first alternate location would be upstairs above Speed Cola in the corner. Number 2, described as upstairs above the Speed Cola room in the blue lights and bed in the corner of the room. When facing out from the corruption engines, it may be in the grass before entering the Speed Cola area. The final one in Verrückt, described as in between the Zetsubo Noshima test tubes upstairs. 2 locations described in Mob of the Dead. Unfortunately, this thread doesn't contain pictures, but facing out from the corruption engine where the cell block meets the override station, and the second one being near the corruption turret. And finally, we have Origins, first location being up on top of the dig site to the left of the Wonder Fizz machine. Second location is over in front of the footprint, essentially, amongst some rocks. And final location described as near Generator 3 stairs, left after first door from spawn. Please keep in mind that none of these additional locations have been verified by us, but we wanted to compile a list for you guys so you could find them easier in your game. So once everybody's collected their eggs, or one at a time, you go in and hit square at these locations inside the Apothecon, and it's basically an incubator. You notice the tentacles are moving. The tentacles were never moving before, indicating that you need to interact with that location. So the egg is in there, you put all 4 in, and it's zombie souls. The souls from, it can be zombies, it can be Margwas, it can be the bugs, I think even panzers, as long as you kill it near your egg. So if you're the one that put your egg in an incubator, stay close to your incubator, because it has to be your kill that provides the soul to feed your egg. If the zombie is too far away, the soul will not go to your incubator, nor will it go to the incubators of other players that you might be playing with. So wherever the zombie is closest, have that player shoot him. We ran 3 at a time while one person was holding a zombie. You know, bugs randomly spawn in. You can do it during a zombie round, doesn't matter. Approximately 15 zombies or souls to fully incubate 1 egg. And once done, you have a semi-mature Gateworm. Isn't he cute? He's pretty cute. So that player who put it in their incubator presses square and picks up their Gateworm. So you just do that for all 4 players. Once all 4 eggs are incubated and the Gateworms appear, pick them all up, and we're on to the next step. Step 8, collecting the runes. The Gateworms that you picked up from the last step are going to act as kind of like a sonar beacon to find runes that are hidden on the map. The first location that we find is over towards the jump pad at Shangri-La, and I'll let you guys listen to it so you know what to listen for when you get close to a rune. It's a beeping, and the beeping will get louder, and your controller will vibrate if the vibration is on until you get close enough to the rune to hit square on it. So you just saw our player going up, he hits square, the Gateworm appears, it gets consumed, and a rune is appearing in its place, and you hit square to pick it up, and that's 1 of 4. You gotta do it 4 times, 1 for each player. And note that the beeping and the vibration doesn't stop. Even though we've picked up the rune, it still exists in that location, for some reason. Our second rune location was just in front of Stamina on that the little pad that has the skull on it. And just looking at the inventory, you can see the symbol appear once we've collected the rune. Also want to note for you guys that the symbols in the projector room at Kino do start lighting up as you're collecting the runes, just basically giving you an account of your progress in that current step. Our third location was off the lower jump pad here in Verrucht, just on the other side of this wall, the jump pad side of that broken wall. And Hyper's going to hit square. There's the Gateworm, and there is our third rune. Pick that up, and on to the last one. Our final rune location was just outside Mob of the Dead, going towards Origins on the lower level, not above on the dig site. And there's the Gateworm, and there is our 4th and final rune collected. So we've completed the process up in that Kino teleporter room. So we've gone and compiled a few other locations from miscellaneous Reddit posts, and one of the possible locations for a rune is over here, so on the other side of spawn, near the other jump pad towards Origins. Second possible location is in the Primus statue room, and we're going to go to the left of the box location and the summoning altar location, so look in this area. Like I said, with the beeping and the vibration, you should be able to notice it. Third location is going to be in the Dryzen Drak pyramid room, and it's on near the pressure plate, located closest to where you would start the wall run for the free perk. Couple of possible locations in Verrucht. One beside the sparking power area upstairs. So just to the left of the corruption engine. And if we go to the back room where the Zetsubo Noshima test tubes are, it's beside them. Not sure if it's on the left-hand side or the right. And the final location we're aware of is in the Mob of the Dead, the tunnel leading up to Origin. So somewhere in here, not sure exactly where, but like I said, with the beeping and the vibration, you should be able to find them. So we've got all the runes, everything's lit up, so you get 4 players to come in here and 1 player stand on each of the spots, and you get transported in here. And I'm just going to share with you guys our first experience in here. We weren't sure what to do, but it is time, so you want to be careful. And this is one of the things that I'm going to say, you know, you either want all your players to have aftertaste, or at least one of them to have near-death experience, okay? I'm just warning you guys, because we got timed out, and look what happens when we get teleported back. Oh yeah, so it teleported 2 players on top of each other. Like, me and 2-Bit and I are actually lucky that we didn't get also teleported on top of each other and end up dying. So I wouldn't recommend trying or attempting this Easter egg with only 2 players. And I've seen people on Twitter who have complained about that, where they get teleported back and it's on top of each other and they're dead. That's it, right? End of game. Like, it's end of game with 2 players. So 3 players at least, it seems as though it's going to place the 3rd player away from the other 2. And then when we did run it again, we ended up being teleported into completely different areas. So, you know, this map is pretty broken. So just a forewarning for you guys. And in order to teleport again, you have to progress around. You can't just go and stand on the ruins again. You have to progress around. So let's get back to our run where we can describe exactly what to do. There's a book at the very front, and it's going to show you each of the 4 runes one at a time in a random order. What I would recommend doing is taking this screenshot of the 4 symbols and basically labeling them 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if you're doing this solo, you just have that image right beside you as you're doing this, or if you're playing with more than 1 player, you know, 1 player runs the book, 1 player activates the runes, as you're going to see, and then whatever other players you have in the game are basically covering the guys that are running the book and the rune. So I'm running the book, and the first rune that pops up is number 3. So I'm just going to call out 3 to my partners. The next rune that comes up is number 2. So 3, 2. It's like Simon. It's almost like Simon Says. So the 3rd rune, then the 2nd one, and now it's going to be the first one. So 3, 2, 1, and then obviously 4. We'll just wait for the book to show us the 4th one, just because. And there we go. So I'm going to run up top. So where we spawned in, a rune is going to appear in purple, but it might not be the right one. We have to wait for the 3rd rune to be first. So once you see that 3rd rune in purple, you're going to go up, hit square on it, and it's going to pop up yellow. Then purple rune's going to change, and you got to wait for it to show the rune that is currently our number 2. As soon as that one shows, you go up, hit square. We've got the 2nd yellow one. The purple one's going to change again. We got to wait for the 1st rune to appear, and then hit square on that one. So it's a bit of a process. Okay, so we've got 3. Wait for number 4 to pop up, and there it is. There it is. So we're hit square, and we're done the process, but now it becomes a game of survival. So I'm just going to run through this with you, and the same sort of process is going to happen when we're in the final boss battle. So I'll describe it here, and you can use this for the final boss battle. You're going to have the area, the boss arena, change, and you know, in this instance we have fire. There's like fire on the ground. There's firewalls that appear that block your path and do damage to you. So you got to survive all this, right? We're going to see a number of changing elemental effects in this arena, and we're just running around. I mean, you're gonna have Margwas, you're gonna have Panzers spawn in. They're basically throwing everything at you. So it gets a little calm for a while, and then, yeah, lava on the floor, but you got anti-gravity. And we didn't know what was going on first. It's like, no, find the areas, find this, uh-oh, what's going on? No, find the areas that, you know, are actually white. It took us a few moments, and then you can just do your double jump. So you just keep double jumping, essentially. And this is going to be important for the final boss battle. I mean, this is kind of like not even a boss battle. It's just the, you know, setting us up for the boss battle, okay? So we just jump on these white areas, and, you know, maybe even just had to hit square in the book. I don't know, but we just survived in here for a while. And it's good to identify the changing conditions, the changing environment, because it'll help you guys when you try it for the first time. If you haven't, it'll help with your survivability, definitely. So I think this is where we actually tried. Okay, let's try and hit square in the book. Nope. So we got Void, and you got to watch these pillars move. We've got Void Margwas come in, which are really the most dangerous, I think. They shoot those skulls at you, those Void skulls at you. So you got to try and avoid all that stuff. I mean, that stuff hurts, and you got the Void, like, it almost looks like electricity, but it travels along the floor. And then this last effect, I'm not sure what exactly you'd call it, but you get these walls that just randomly start going up in front of you, and they change. The walls will fall down, and then other walls will appear, so it just kind of changes, it changes the context of the map. It's like, oh, you want to go that way? Nope, there's a wall there, you better go another way. People are getting downed. It's pretty crazy, but definitely that near-death experience. Oh yeah, it's beautiful. Once you're done, the summoning key is gonna drop down. You hit square to pick it up.
It is key of summoning. It seems most unsafe to let Nikolai hold on to it.
So, Nikolai, Dempsey, Takeo, I'm talking to you now. Did you ever wonder where, when, and how Richthofen got his hands on the most powerful artifact in this or any universe? It's simple, really. Somewhere on his travels, got to be honest, I wasn't paying that much attention at the time. Richthofen straight up stole it. Honestly, he snatched it right out of a keeper's hands. The keepers, you're friends with those guys, right?
So for step 10, we're going to be playing Uplink with the summoning key, and we're going to be shooting the summoning key at things that are related to Easter eggs on each of these maps. I mean, Der Eisendrache, we've got Untitled, Verrückt, you know, Mob of the Dead, Origins. All those map locations are going to have Easter egg related things that we can shoot the summoning key at. The first here being in Der Eisendrache, the clock. So we shoot the summoning key at the clock. There's a stuffy that appears and floats up into the ether, and there we go, we get the summoning key back. Second up, over in Shangri-La, it's going to be that blue orb that's sitting atop a pedestal, and those pedestals we used in the Shangri-La Easter egg. We had to shoot it with a ray gun, I believe, and it reflected off a bunch of them to, I think, almost complete the Easter egg on that map. And there we go, we get a giant monkey bomb. Third up, over on Verrückt, we've got that well. And remember, I think the well in Verrückt, the original map, actually played some music or something. There was something related to that. We got a loot. It looked like a loot that flew up there. So they're not all stuffies. We have a stuffies and a loot, I think. Next up is Origins. There's kind of a stone off the map over here that we're going to throw the summoning key at. I mean, we've tried to shoot this thing multiple times. It's the top of the dig site. And there we go, number 4 complete. Number 5 is Mob of the Dead, the poster in the back cell. Now this is at the very back of the area. As soon as you enter into the corruption engine, we're going up top, the second level, and it's in one of the cells at the very back. So we shoot the summoning key at that, and luckily enough I had a sniper to spectate it. Over in Kino der Toten, that pesky radio in the chandelier, remember that? Being an Easter egg in the original Kino der Toten, so we have a little rocket that appears in its place. The radio is now gone. And we have one more to go, Noctur on Toten. Of course, the explosive barrel. There is the stuffy in Noctur, and once you're done, the summoning key disappears. You don't have it anymore, so obviously, yeah, we know we're done. Alright, this is it, guys. This is the Shadowman boss battle. You can see now that we've collected all those Easter egg things on the map with the summoning key, the teleporter is active once again. So everybody gets in the teleporter, and this is when we're going to be teleported to that final boss battle. And just make sure you guys are set up for it and have the gumballs on that you want to have on. Now, for those of you that want to know a little bit more about the effects that occur in the boss battle arena, refer back to Step 9, sort of the second part of Step 9, where I'm describing each of the phases that shows up on the ground, you know, with the fire and the lava and the void, etc., alright? Now, we see the Shadowman up there, and he's shielded. You can't hurt him through the shields. You have to take the shields down. And there's Sophia. Sophia will drop the summoning key. It takes her a bit of time, but she will drop the summoning key. You have to go over, pick up the summoning key. You'll pick it up automatically, just like in Uplink, and place it on one of these urns that is glowing green. You go and place it with square, and then start shooting zombies or whatever furies around that location, that urn location, and you'll collect souls in the urn. It takes about 10 or 15 or 20 souls in and around there. I mean, you'll know when you're done when you shoot another zombie or a fury or whatever, and you don't get a soul go into the urn. So you go over to the urn, you pick up the summoning key again, and you throw it to Sophia. And what Sophia will do, she'll shoot a laser beam and take the shields down for the Shadowman. So then he's vulnerable. You can shoot him. You can actually one-cycle this as well. So once his shields are down, just start going to town. So here we see the Shadowman with the shields down. I mean, the Elder Invader, probably not the best gun to use. I'm going to switch over my sniper here in a second. But he ends up, obviously, teleporting back and forth, and he goes back towards the Apothecon. The Apothecon is at the back. Once he's at the back, near the Apothecon, you go down to the book and you hit square. Just going to flip to some footage that was provided to us by our good friend FedEx. And, yeah, it doesn't look like the Thunder Gun's doing too much on him. He's just standing at the book, and see how the Shadowman is sort of teleporting around. Once he gets back close to the Apothecon, you're going to hit square on the book, and it's going to trap him, and he's done. I mean, boss battle done. You can do it in one cycle. We did it our first time in a bunch of cycles. And that's it, guys. The Shadowman has been defeated. I'm going to play the ending cutscene for you guys here, and that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the guide. Hope it helps you get your trophies and or achievements for Black Ops 3 Salvation. I just gotta say, it's probably one of the best guides that I've ever put together, well, at least in my opinion. Anyways, enjoy, guys. Thanks again. Spider out.
Sophia.
Maxis.
You know what we must do, my dear.
Yes, my love.
We will do it together. As one we are. Now and forever.
With the evil vanquished, I can start making it all nice again. No undead, no apothecons, no Shadowman. All of it gone. Forever. But here's the funny thing. You snowflakes shouldn't even still be here. You should be fading out of existence by now. Those blood vials.
I was wondering when you'd bring this up.
They're from realities we've already closed off. They shouldn't be here. They can't be here. Such a paradox means you're putting my perfect world at risk. You guys and your bloody free will. What to do? What to do? Well, you certainly can't stay here.
You could send us somewhere else. Somewhere we've never been.
I suppose I could make a little corner somewhere in history. A place where I can dump some of the other shit that I've left over. Or I just wipe you from existence. Ooh, hang on. Actually, that all works out perfectly.